NYYST. This is New York, Yankee sports talk. Swinging for the fences, knock it out the park. This is New York, Yankee sports talk. Christian and Chris, of course SGR. This is New York, Yankee sports talk. Homie, New York, Yankee sports talk. Record, rain or shine, grab your shades and umbrellas. NYYST, you're hanging with the fellas.
Welcome back. This is episode 282 of the NYYST podcast. We're presented by NYYNewsTV. I'm your host, Christian. As always, joined by my co-host, Chris.
You?
And I cannot, honestly, for the life of me, believe that he's not here. We told him that we had a special guest. He had to come on right at the beginning of the show, and he's not here. Where is SGR?
Well, I think he had computer problems because of the compilations and the excess tabs. Whoa. And I think he's trying to yank. I think he went to go yank.
Well, before we get into anything that we have to get to today, the Yankees took 3 of 4 from the Chicago White Sox over the weekend. But before we can even begin to discuss the series, we have the return of the Gardy report. Gardy, are you there?
Oh, hey, guys.
Gardy, can you hear me? Is it loud on the Brett jet?
Yeah. Oh, well, actually, got some breaking news here. I did have to trade in the Brett jet. All right. Money's been tight. As you know, I did just turn down a $6 million offer. So I traded in the Brett jet. Now I'm rocking the Gardy party bus. All right. I'm rocking, driving this around. I'll be touring across the United States trying to get signed.
Christian, is that what we're taking to the event on June 25th?
I did not. You know, that's really grimy, Gardy, that you got a party bus and you didn't even bother to tell us. We could have rode the bus to the event.
We are in the process of getting that going. We're going to offer events and some marketing deals. So give my people a call. We'll set something up. Got a special discount for you guys.
So, Gardy, did you turn down the offer from those other teams because you're waiting for something from the Yankees, or because you've just found another venture in life that you're more passionate about?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, it's kind of a bit of both there, Chris. I gotta say, it's a combo of waiting, but also really enjoying driving a bus. I really do like. I call it the Gardy Hound too. It's not a Greyhound, it's a Gardy Hound, and it's been a pretty darn good time.
All right, Gardy, let me ask you a question. You got offered $6 million from the Toronto Blue Jays and you turned it down. Do you hate Canada?
No, it's not that I hate Canada. It's that I just, see, a lot of players, they have these things called no trade clauses, right? I have these things called no sign clauses. All right. And number one, I'm not going to a team named after a bird. All right. So Blue Jays, I'm not going there. Baltimore, I won't go there. St. Louis. That's one of the main things I'm looking at when I'm signing these things. My sign clause.
So no birds.
No birds. Also, there needs to be a really good, a really solid major motion picture about your team. That's another thing. So like, I'll go to the Oakland A's. They got Moneyball, 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb. It's a solid film. All right. I'll even go to Cleveland, Major League, 7.2 out of 10. I'll still count it. Even with the name change, but that's why, guys. And here's another break.
I heard not to cut you off, Gardy, but I heard they changed the name of the team to kind of attract you, the Cleveland Guardians.
Well, that's right. It is certainly appealing. They could also do a sequel to Angels in the Outfield, do Guardians in the Infield. All right, and you could. That's something I would pitch to them. Have they, if they do contact me in the future. All right. In Atlanta, I don't know if you heard this, but Atlanta did contact me, and they do have a major motion picture based off them called The Slugger's Wife, produced by Ted Turner himself. But guess what?
Whoa! The Slugger's Wife. This is a family show, Gardy. I don't know where you're going.
It is. That's a baseball term there, and it's got a
Slugger's Wife.
4.4 out of 10 on IMDb. I talked to Ted Turner himself. I said, and he produced the film. I said, listen, Ted, you got to make a better movie if you want to even begin to get into these contract negotiations.
But what about trouble with the curve with the girl with the nose and Justin Timberlake? You know,
yeah, no,
that was about the Atlanta Braves organization.
That's right. I did forget about that one. I didn't think of that. I might have to check that out later and give him a call back.
All right, Gardy. We know that you're a busy guy. You drive a bus now.
That's right.
So we're gonna let
no
you
yawning back there. No yawning on the bus. Right.
So we'll let you go on this. Are you content retiring from Major League Baseball if the Yankees do not call you this year?
Man, that's a tough question for me to answer. I don't know if you could ever really be content with giving up your passion, and this is something that I've played my whole life, and hopefully it don't come to that this year, and we can reach something. I'm just waiting for that injury. It's coming, and I'm not rooting for it for sure. I'm not rooting for it. Definitely not rooting for it. But if it does happen, who are you going to call? Brett Gardner.
Gardy Busters.
Gardy Busters. That's another. Could call that put that on the side of the Gardy.
I actually have one last follow-up question, and then we'll let you go.
Yeah, anything for you, Chris.
If you could use one word to describe the transition from driving a regular traditional vehicle to then adjusting to driving a bus, what word would you use? One word
I would use. Let me think here. It certainly hasn't been easy. So I think the word I'm looking for is hard. It's been hard.
Thanks, Gardy.
All right, Gardy. Thanks.
I'm gonna make a K turn. All right, boys. Take it easy.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, Gardy just dropped in to let us know that he's not playing baseball because he wants to drive a bus. So, I mean, good for him. I mean, mad respect to Brett Gardner for deciding that if it's not going to be the Yankees, it's not going to be. Oh, is that SGR?
What's up, guys? Sorry, man. My computer was like, I don't know. I couldn't hear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine, bro. Right. You missed Gardy again.
Yeah, it's a good one too.
I mean, 5 years of doing this show, you'd think that one time you could be on the same time as Gardy.
I thought you.
I told you we had to get him on right away. The guy drives a bus now.
I know. I couldn't get my sound. My sound was. Oh, damn. Oh.
Well, you know what? Gardy was talking about the slugger's wife. Maybe just watch an entire movie instead of, a bunch of compilations. Maybe that would solve your problem,
Yeah. Good. Oh, yeah. It's good point there, Christian. Good point. Yeah.
I wonder if that is a real movie.
It is. Looked it up. Was
actually on Pornhub or on Netflix?
And it was actually a Ted Turner movie, and he's the owner of the Braves.
Does he own porn?
Mm-hmm. He probably does, dude. He does everything else.
Right.
Well, what the Yankees do is they just win series. I mean, another one taken today, 3 out of 4 in Chicago. We'll have to get into how much the team hates Jordan Montgomery. But Chris, if you want to do a little bookkeeping, tell them about the event, all that good shit before we get into it.
Yeah, the event's closing in. It'll be here before we know it. June 25th. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, head over to Twitter. And head over to at NYYST_podcast. We have it pinned to the top of the page. There's just do you hear the hissing? Do you hear that?
No, maybe stop doing that, mic? Bro. Honestly, maybe you should just stop doing that.
Maybe I should start doing it. Head over there, click the link that's pinned to the top of the page if you want to get your event tickets. It includes 90 minutes before the game. Party deck reservations. We're going to get free beer, free food, and then we're going to enjoy the game together against the Astros, and we can chant whatever you want to chant, including fuck Altuve's on the table, if you want to chant that. So head over. It's going to be an event. You're going to meet everyone from NYY News TV. I'm pretty pumped about it. We got a shit ton of people coming.
Okay.
They had to actually add additional available tickets for us, which is awesome.
Okay.
Other than that, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please take a second, stop, subscribe to the show, leave a 5-star rating and review. If you're watching us on YouTube on the NYY News TV channel, take a second to subscribe and like this video. And also, Christian's been putting out content after every midweek series when we don't do a show.
Right.
For some exclusive Patreon content. Head over to patreon.com/NYYST and become a patron for as low as $5 a month.
as low as, but we appreciate more.
We appreciate it.
Okay.
So, yeah. Do you want to be the negative guys today, or do you want to be happy guys today?
Well, I thought about
Be
something.
happy.
Okay.
You got to be happy.
Okay, happy.
Because we are, right? You can't not be happy.
I mean, yeah, absolutely with the overall performance of the team, but there's one guy that he's really bothering me, and it's gotta go soon. I can't deal with him anymore. Oh, there's actually two guys, but we'll get into that in a minute. Today, I think we should officially kick off the show with this. Nestor Cortez is the fucking man. Okay, let's just put it to bed. The guy he's the man. Okay.
Can we say one thing? Can we ask one question?
What's that?
If this guy, let's just give a big hypothetical right now.
Okay.
Let's say Nestor Cortez is so good all year he wins the Cy Young.
Okay.
Don't you have this feeling that you're just still going to be like, yeah, but it was probably a fluke? No, he is legit then.
If he pitches to a sub-2 ERA the entire year, backed off of what he did last year, and then you got to say that this guy's legit now.
And not only, like, here's the biggest thing. It's not just because today was an unearned run, correct?
No, he gave up a home run in the 8th.
Oh, I heard it was unearned. See, I had to listen on and off today.
Uh-huh.
I heard it was unearned.
Well, they usually count home runs as earned runs. Last time I checked.
Was there 2 outs? Was it an extended at bat because of an error?
You don't get. Oh, how would you figure he gave up a solo home run then if the inning was extended because of an error?
Okay, listen.
Do you want to edit this out here?
No, not at all. I listen.
Yeah.
I was listening. Look, you can't take John Sterling at his word anymore, unfortunately.
All right.
Okay, regardless.
Well,
right?
I said that. I tweeted this earlier in the week. I was listening to the game on the radio on Monday.
He has a 1.35 ERA.
Or was it Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday when Glaber hit that 3-run home run. I said I waited 2 full batters before I celebrated the home run, just in case.
You have to. It's really sad. Anyway, you have this guy coming out there, and he's dominating right now. I just don't know. I don't know what is impressing me more. The fact that he's not giving up runs, or the fact that he's actually going out there and pitching into the 8th inning. I mean, Can we sit here and say in this moment, I'm not saying overall, but in this moment, Nestor Cortez is a better option than Garrett Cole? How could you not say it? I know it's tough to say. I know it's difficult to roll off the tongue. And I know we don't want to say it.
No, I still give the ball in game 1 because I think his stuff would translates better.
I'm not talking about giving the ball in game 1. I'm saying right now in this moment, who's a better? You
said
pitcher?
who's a better option? That's what you
said. Who's a better pitcher?
Well, the number you said you used option. Okay, you used it.
I said, is he a better option than Garrett Cole right now?
Yeah. So option means if you had to win a game.
Right.
Who would you put on the mound?
So if Nestor Cortez is as legit as you say,
how
could you not answer with Nestor Cortez?
Because
you still have your doubts. You still are saying to yourself, he's not proven.
Maybe I just trust Garrett Cole. How about that one?
Why would you trust Garrett Cole? I'm sorry, he's been very good, lately compared to what he's been, but he still gave up 3 runs the other night. When's the last time Cortez has done that?
That wasn't a fair 3 runs.
Oh, come on.
It wasn't because the official score didn't charge Falefa with an error means that.
Let me tell you something. That was a joke. So there's actually 2 guys we gotta beat down on for sure.
I thought Cole had his best stuff of the year on what was it, Friday night?
Yeah, he was pretty filthy.
It's unfortunate that his defense decided to take a night off for the most part, but no. It's a good problem to have right now where you would actually have to sit here and debate this on a positive level. Who would you rather have in one game, whether it be Cole or Cortez? Just because I think Cole's stuff is better. He has better stuff than Cortez. If you're asking me who would win one game, who's pitching better so far throughout the course of the season, obviously it's Nestor Cortez. He's got the lowest ERA in the American League.
Dude, he's been one of the best pitchers in all of baseball in the last 2 years. Let alone on the Yankees. It's pretty impressive.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm the one. I'm telling you that I regret everything I've ever said about him. I'm sorry, Nestor. Even though people are trying to deem you a racist today, I'm sorry.
Why? What did he do?
You know, he tweeted something when he was 17, and people found it today.
Oh, that's fair. That was what, 3 years ago. Is he 20 now? How about this kid? Let's talk about fraudulent kids real quick. Have you seen this kid in the Little League World Series?
No.
Yeah, I think so.
He's about 6 feet tall, and he gets up in his first at bat, maybe his first, and they're like, apparently this kid could hit one to the trees. And in his first swing, man, it was one of the nicest swings.
Yeah,
and
it was
runs.
like he's MLB ready.
He's ready,
like that swing.
He's ready, but apparently he's only 12. There's no way.
Cortez is 27, so I mean, they're
There's no
him.
way.
Gonna hang him for something that he said 10 years ago when he was a kid. These fucking people, bro.
Fuck him.
No, it's not fuck him, bro, because it's annoying me because like today I had numerous people in my mentions saying that my hatred of Aaron Hicks was racially motivated.
Oh, it definitely is.
I mean, does anybody actually watch the guy play baseball?
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. So is your hatred for Chapman?
I mean, really, I would hate to let them in on the fact that I wanted, out of anybody I could have gotten off this team in the offseason, my first pick was Luke Voigt.
I was gonna say you're gonna have to find a different excuse for that one, but for the other ones, it's clearly a racial motivation.
Well, I'm the racist, but you can't tell the difference between an African American and a Cuban, so I'm just saying.
Right. Yeah, that is racist. You're right, bro. I'm on your side.
Because you can't just not like somebody because they suck on the baseball team you root for.
Yeah, no, that's not allowed anymore.
It has to be something deeper than that, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different reasons why you could hate like Chapman, but it's definitely the color of his skin. It's not the fact that he sucks or the fact that he shot a fucking gun in a domestic disturbance.
Yeah, right.
It's not any of those. It's the color of his skin for sure. And you should go to counseling.
So, I mean, we said this a couple of weeks ago. You're not past it. I can tell you're not past your doubts of Nestor Cortez. You're not.
Listen, man, I can't sit here and say I'm not. If I'm not, I can't explain it. It's subconscious. Like it's not that I ever had doubts. It's not that I have doubts. It's that I can't seem to just fully accept that Nestor Cortez is not only the best pitcher on the Yankees right now, he's one of the best pitchers in all of baseball right now.
It's the story is what you can't wrap your head around.
Yeah, I guess so.
That this guy was a 36th round draft pick. We all know the Orioles of
he's
all
the
teams
Tom Brady of the Yankees right now.
Took him into Rule 5. Gave him back because they didn't want him. Yankees DFA him. Seattle DFAs him. Yankees are like, oh yeah, we'll take a shot on him. And then he becomes the best. Like literally, he's the one, if not the best, the top 2 or 3 best pitchers performance wise in the last year and a half.
Yeah, because it's not. I'll tell you why I know I'm not doubting him anymore. I can't wait for him to get the ball because when he gets the ball, I immediately think this team's going to win today. It's the story I can't wrap my head around. I can't you don't grasp it.
If you had a 99-mile-an-hour fastball, you would wrap your head around it.
Probably. Right? And if he was like tall, muscular, thin, didn't have a mustache,
cuter,
and he wasn't so much of a gimmick because he is. It's a great gimmick. I love it. But he's gimmicky. You hit it right in the head last week. He does the the kick and the delay and and he's beautiful at it. He's perfect at it.
Sometimes gimmicks work, though. The Undertaker rode his gimmick for 30 years. I mean,
it's also scripted. I mean, that's also scripted talent.
Yeah, okay,
So-
dickhead. You want to go down that road? How many guys are giving fucking gimmicks and they flame out after 6 weeks? This is a guy that had a 30-year career.
Oh.
So why don't we give it credit to Nestor Cortez that whatever this gimmick is that he's working might work for him? And
Maybe
he could
no.
build a career
It definitely
off of it.
does. It definitely does. You want to talk about giving credit with gimmicks? Chris Pratt, by the way. Side note.
Well, we're not allowed.
How
We're not
well
allowed to like
did-
him. Okay,
Huh?
we're not allowed to like him.
Chris Pratt?
Yeah.
Think about how type Cassidy could have been after doing Andy from Parks and Rec.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And he just completely got out of the gimmick of being the like fat.
Credit Moneyball for that. Scott Hatterberg. Got
Well,
him
he
in
was
shape.
chub-
You think it was Moneyball,
No,
or you
he
think it
was
was the
still-
fact that he lost?
No,
80
but
pounds?
I was making a joke, but it's kind of serious because he was first denied that role because he was too out of shape. So he went and like worked out,
Wow.
got in good shape, called his agents like get me
I thought he
another
was still a little
audition.
And
chubs
he
in
got-
He
Moneyball.
was, but
Yeah.
he got in better shape than he was before. And
No,
then-
it was Guardians of the Galaxy that did it for him.
well,
Yeah, that's what put it over the edge. But I think SGR's onto something here.
No,
Nobody
that
gives
got
a
him in
shit.
shape. that gave
Why are
him-
we bringing up Chris Pratt? What you
Because we can compare him to Nestor Cortez. When the
Yeah,
gimmick,
why are we talking about him?
because Chris Pratt's a good-looking guy and he's one of my favorite actors. So
Yeah.
well, that's it now, dude. We're racist and we like Chris Pratt. Forget it now.
Nestor Cortez runs the gimmick well. He's not looking to not be typecasted at this point. He's looking, but how long can a gimmick last? Can it last forever? And I think that's the question.
Well, I think now becomes the point. Now you're gonna maybe see more Nestor Cortezes in the league. That's when you can say whether or not it's a gimmick. If you see more successful low velocity guys, if there's more and more of that, then clearly it's not a gimmick. It's just a matter of these hitters have grown so accustomed to flamethrowers that these guys are now,
Well, it's
such
not
a
even the
deviation.
gimmick is more so the deviation, dropping the arm angles, the different windups, all that type of thing. That's where the gimmick comes from. It was just straight up a pitcher with his stuff. I wouldn't say it would be gimmicky. It's like he tries different things out there to fool the hitters, and it's not just location and pitch selection. It's like we said, he varies his times. He does the pirouette out there. But
Yeah.
if it's working, so let's not.
It's working.
Let's not
Don't
look
fix
past-
anything that's not broken.
So at this point now, until it doesn't work, it works. So I think
But do you understand what I'm saying? It's beyond the stuff on the field too, right? It's first of all the mustache, which has become a gimmick, right? Everyone has the Nestor mustache. Isn't
no, well, that's where he gets his power from.
it? Okay, then he's on the bench and he's eating an apple.
Okay, guys
Right.
eat on the bench all the time.
Yeah, but it was very gimmicky. And then he brings the
It's
turtle
gimmicky
in.
because the turtle
You know?
was the turtle was gimmicky. I don't like the turtle.
So he's like a cartoon character that I love, that I'm in love with.
Okay.
He's my
Well,
favorite cartoon character.
You want to talk
ever.
about cartoon characters? How many? The Ninja Turtles have been around since the '80s. Okay, so there you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's how long they can last. How about a Family Guy or South Park?
Nobody
Been on
likes
for
them.
how many years?
Okay.
So Simpsons.
Okay. There you go.
So I'm in for Cortez, dude. I'm all in.
Okay. I hope he pitches at the event too.
Cortez.
I hope it's his night.
Cortez greater than Garrett Cole right now. True or false?
What do you mean by greater than?
Right now, better pitcher. Right now, Nestor Cortez greater
Performance
than.
wise, I
Garrett
would
Cole.
say you would have to say yes right now. Sure.
That's wild.
Would I give the ball to Nestor Cortez if this postseason was starting today? No, I still give it to Garrett Cole.
SGR, what about you?
It's exactly the same thing. I mean, you could say he's the better pitcher based off of his numbers and the way that he's looked
He's
this year.
performing better for sure.
Right. But if you're talking about who you're handing the ball to in game one of a series, that's still not a question that it's Garrett Cole. Yeah.
I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement.
I was
with both of you.
I was kind of falling into a Cashman a little bit there.
I'm in agreement with both of you, but if Garrett Cole gave me the same bullshit he gave me last wildcard game, then he no longer gets that automatic you're getting the ball.
It's so hard because there's so much more to it than not giving him the ball, because then you got to think like you're not giving the ball to the guy making $36 million.
Yeah, I don't think about money though. I think about
when it comes to that role,
that's what he's here for, Chris. I mean, if he's
Right.
going to get demoted out of that spot in the third year,
Like-
fourth year of the contract, and that's
another reason he's here is to be an ace, like how he was with when IKF made those errors. He turned around and he acknowledged.
I'm
it.
surprised he didn't try to kill him. To be honest with you,
That's the kind of stuff that is being an ace. And
He was a little
getting the ball
perturbed with,
in game one.
he was a little perturbed with DJ LeMahieu for the ball.
He
that allowed
was,
the run to score.
And they got like it seemed like they were getting a little heated in the dugout, but I thought when he first turned around after he got out of that inning, he was shouting out to Donaldson for pumping him up, for like getting things riled up, getting him motivated. But then clearly, when I looked back, he was definitely talking to IKF like, I got you. Like, hey, I picked you up, dude.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. It was very unfair, the game he had to pitch the other night.
No, I mean, he was great despite the circumstances. That's one time when you look at the box score and you're like, oh, he was all right. But he was better than all right. He was really good. He had the best stuff. I would say he had the best stuff of the season on Friday night when he pitched. Like we said, he had the balk where he thought somebody was going to be covering. No one's covering. That allows his run to score. IKF doesn't get charged with an error. It was an error. I don't know why.
Clearly.
I don't know why people are coming at me defending IKF in that situation. Oh, he gave DJ a chance. Really? How do you give DJ a chance on that? It's a terrible throw.
That was actually one of the worst, most blatant fucking home cooked calls I've ever seen. It was not even debatable that was an error. Wasn't debatable.
No, I mean, it was pretty egregious. And the only thing I really hurt in the end is that Garrett Cole had to be charged with a couple of earned runs that shouldn't have counted. But it is what it is. Yankees won that game. The problem with the Yankees is that you want to look at problems here. The problem with the Yankees is that they don't score when Jordan Montgomery is on the mound. It's become just like it's astonishing. It really is how this team just shuts down offensively when Montgomery's on the mound. The guy has, I think, in all his starts this year, he has 8 runs. 8 runs.
Are you serious? While he's on the mound.
While he's on the mound, the Yankees have scored 8 runs. The Yankees have lost 9 games total this year. 5 of them have been games that Jordan Montgomery has started.
That's crazy. That's astonishing. It's almost impossible. And Montgomery's, let's preface by saying Montgomery's pitched very well.
He wasn't that good yesterday, but he still only allows 2 runs.
Yeah, no, he's pitched very well.
I don't think he had good stuff yesterday, and he still limited damage to 2 runs. The guy's leaving the game down 2-0 because the Yankees don't score for him. It's amazing. It's like, but here, it's like people are tired of the joke, but it's not a joke anymore. It's like, why? There's there can't be a rhyme or reason for it. But why? Why doesn't Jordan Montgomery? And they don't score for Nestor Cortez really either. I think in the top 10 of least run supported pitchers coming into today's game, Jordan Montgomery was 4th and Nestor Cortez was 10th.
If I told you that Nestor Cortez would have a 1.35 ERA by mid-May, would you have believed me? Or would you have thought, what would your first thought have been? I bet you it would have been, the guy only pitches 4 innings a game.
Yeah, I mean, now that he's going deeper into games, it's a lot more impressive.
Dude.
It is.
It's fucking legit.
You can't say it's not legit at this point with the sample size.
Is it too legit to quit, or is it just legit?
It's too legit to hit, I think. You
gotta too legit.
It.
No, it is.
Hit it. Too legit. You got to hit.
So really, I mean, outside of the fact that the Yankees don't score for Jordan Montgomery, the real big news coming out of the game on Saturday night was Aroldis Chapman taking the mound in the 9th inning of a tie game, and the Yankees ended up losing. Now, I guess the first thing you want to debate, do you have a problem with Boone going to the closer in a tie game in the 9th inning on the road?
On the road, yeah, it doesn't make sense. It makes zero sense.
No, to me, it doesn't matter. To me, personally, normally I would get upset over those types of things. You save your closer, but because it's Chapman and because they have these other options that can close games, it doesn't bother me as much.
He also hadn't really pitched a lot, right, going into that?
Well, he pitched the night before. Or 2 nights before.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he pitched since the day game, the final game against Toronto. I don't think
Oh,
he
okay.
pitched.
So here's what I'll say about it.
Holy shit.
Do I think Boone is to blame? Absolutely not. Because for exactly what you said, I almost don't even see Chapman as our closer right now. I just see him as the guy who, yeah, I guess is going to close out games. But we have so many guys out there that I trust that I don't really care. It's all on Chapman. If you're going to go to Chapman, he better get the job done. But the main reason why I can't really blame Boone's been very, very good this year. You really can't say enough about Aaron Boone. And the fact that he seems to be back to the guy that we saw pre-pandemic, pre-heart issue. He's been on top of his shit. He's not putting up with a lot of bullshit. And I actually trust him in the dugout now, leading this team right now. I really do. And it's not just because they're winning. I mean, I'm sure that helps. But I just feel like he's back on top of his game. And I'm not going to sit here and blame Aaron Boone for going to Chapman, a guy who we need to be able to trust, in a tie game on the road at that point. I'm just not going to do it.
No, I'm not blaming Boone. I know there's people that don't want to be fair to Boone, want to rip Boone for it. I don't personally want to, because I think the problem is the role of Chapman. I mean, when he pitched on Wednesday, he struggled in that outing until he got to Bo Bichette, and then he just something clicked inside of him, and he found that fuck you fastball, and you could not hit that. Nobody could hit that, and that's why he was able to get out of the inning there, and the Yankees won the game. The fastballs he was throwing to Bichette and Vlad Guerrero Jr. in those at bats, they were brutal to the batter. What
was he hitting on it? Because
100.
I was actually at that game and had to leave early.
No, he was hitting 100. It wasn't like a 105. It was 100, but it
Good
was
movement.
It was the location and the confidence really that he was throwing with it, and it was 100. But when you can throw 95 and it's like
just a hard fastball,
and then you throw 95 and it's got that fucking life to it, and you can see it. That's what it was. That the life on that fastball too. And then he comes out, the problem with him, and he has his defenders, because it's a problem that we run into a lot with guys that we personally don't like, is that the fans look at these numbers and are like, well, how could you guys say that he sucks? He has a 1 whatever ERA.
Yeah.
He hasn't blown any saves this year, blah, blah, blah. But tell me, there's a guy standing behind you with a gun pointed at. I'm sorry, I don't want to make gun jokes.
It's okay. No, do guns.
But seriously, because that's another thing. Because I used the word hate in referring to Aroldis Chapman, and somebody came at me like, "How could you use the word hate after what happened in Buffalo?"
Because you're not a fucking psychopath, okay? That's why.
Because we can nobody condones what happened in Buffalo on Saturday, but we can also talk about shit that happens in a baseball sense without everything always having to be compared to fucking racism or mass shootings or.
Right.
This is a baseball podcast. I comment on baseball on fucking Twitter. Not everything has a deeper meaning than that.
Right.
Dude, Musk is exposing all those people. They're all bots, dude. They're all AI bots. Okay, gun to my head. What's the scenario?
You have if the Yankees lose the game, the trigger's pulled, you're dead.
I'll tell you right
now. And
now.
Aroldis Chapman is on the mound facing 3, 4, 5, and name any team you want. I'll even let you pick the worst team.
Give me the 3, gun. 4. I'll just blow my own brains out.
You'll do it yourself?
Do it myself.
Yeah.
So honestly, you would not. Okay, that's my point. It doesn't matter. With me, I would say this all the time. Yeah, the end result. You look at the end result, but sometimes the end result doesn't matter. I don't trust this fucking guy as far as I could pick him up and throw him across the room, which isn't very far. Okay, the guy's a big guy.
Wouldn't you say it's fair to say that anyone saying to you that anyone defending Chapman based on his numbers right now clearly haven't watched the games? Like, clearly don't don't actually tune in and see what he's done this year. Because of course you can look at his numbers and defend him, but you cannot defend Aroldis Chapman because up until the other day he didn't even have a run scored, and I still didn't want to see him pitch.
No, it was Wednesday.
It was Wednesday. That was
so in his last two. You want to look at his last 2 outings? He's allowed runs. Okay,
but what I'm saying is even when he didn't have
Chris,
any,
he was on verge of fucking disaster earlier in the season against Toronto. He walks the bases loaded with nobody out. Michael King got to come in and save him.
right?
That's why he didn't blow a save. That's why he didn't have allowed an earned run because Boone yanked him. You want to talk about Boone being
Yanked.
Oh, relax, Ryan. Okay.
All right.
You want to talk about Boone having his finger on things better this year? That's a prime example right there of having his finger on the pulse of the team and of the game. Because
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, last year the Yankees lose that game because he doesn't pull Aroldis Chapman off the mound. He said, "No, you're not fucking this up for us today."
And how many games does that spiral into? Like, how many games does a heartbreaking loss with Aroldis Chapman on the mound when he shouldn't be? How many other games does that affect? Because we know how disheartening those games are when you have your closer out there and your manager sitting on the bench. Look, we saw a lot of it in Tony La Russa this past weekend.
Oh my God!
The guy is brutal right now.
It was Thursday night, right? When he left Joe Kelly in there.
Oh, man.
Imagine if Aaron Boone had done that. The guy would have had to go into witness protection.
But I don't have to imagine it. I mean, Boone has done shit like that in the past, and it's beyond frustrating. It's part of why we didn't trust him.
That was like Boone times 10 on his worst day.
But it wasn't just that game. It was even the game like, who was the kid that pitched? What was his name? Velasquez that started one of those games?
Yeah, Friday night.
Dude, the guy had 50 pitches in 1 inning, and I know he kind of like honed it in a little, but not really. And this kid is just leaving him out there with no one warming up.
He did the same thing to Kopech today.
It was wild, man.
Kopech settled down and he pitched a really good game, but the guy basically walked in 3 runs. You don't even have anybody warming in your bullpen.
So, like, for a team like the White Sox, who SGR, you'd agree, is a much better team than a game below 500, or 2 games below 500, whatever they are.
Yeah, for sure. They should be playing a little bit.
How disheartening are some of those losses this weekend where especially some of those games that got close and then the Yankees just kind of fucking ended up embarrassing them? Like, those are disheartening losses where you move on from that and those games start affecting games in the future. They start getting in your head. And
especially with a young team like that too.
Yeah.
The
Yankees have done a much better job of really stomping on the necks of their opponents and doing what they have to do and getting business done.
Mm-hmm.
That's what really annoyed me about Saturday's game too, is that Dallas Keuchel comes in with a fucking near 7 ERA and the Yankees can't touch him. Like, can we just one time before?
Didn't even know the guy still existed.
I was surprised he was still in the league when I saw the pitching matchup.
Yeah.
Can we just one time before this guy retires, can the Yankees fucking obliterate him just once?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
What was the guy's name who pitched that? I think it was it the first game of this series? Claus A or something?
Dylan Cease.
Dylan Cease, dude. He put on a smirk. I don't know who it was. He got on like a nice pitch, and then
he was a joke too.
Very next at bat, he gave up a bomb to Stanton.
Well, here's his issue. The guy got 12 outs in the game, 11 were strikeouts, but the Yankees scored 6 runs against them?
Yeah. But he was another guy that just probably shouldn't have been in the game still when he was.
Well, another thing the Yankees did great this series was score with 2 outs. That was another way they just really.
Yeah, and I said this on Twitter. I think I said it on the show. The Yankees are really capitalizing on mistakes. And there was it wasn't a mistake. Try to refresh my memory here. I think it was in the first game, there was a really bad call and it extended the inning. And I think that's when Stanton hit one of the home runs to break it open. I forget, but it was like normal Yankees. Last year Yankees would have just gotten out the next batter. And they just continued to pile on. It might have even been against the Blue Jays, one of those games.
No, it was the Blue Jays because there wasn't anything that egregious.
Yeah, it might have been against the Blue Jays, and it was like, man, this team would normally just die after this.
When didn't Vlad want to fight the umpire?
Yes.
That one, and they didn't have a challenge left.
Yes, that's what it was. And what happened? They broke it open. I mean, they just continue to fight.
Yeah, there's something. I don't know. I'm very hesitant in really letting myself go right now, but there's something different about this team. Ever since that series in Baltimore, this is not the same team that was in Baltimore after 10 games.
They were trending back to 2021 after that Baltimore series.
And now they're
they were looking like their former
away.
selves.
They're definitely trending away from that.
Now they're trending towards unprecedented fucking ground here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they're competing on pace anyway for the amount of wins the 98 team have. I'd be honest, at the end of the day, I'd be stunned if they're over 110 wins. But I mean,
do you think like is it fucked up to say? And this is what I always ask myself these questions because I can't justify them sometimes. Where I sit here and I say, yeah, this team's great right now, and I think that they can stay great. I think they can really continue. Clearly, they have something going on that's working. But then I say to myself, but right now, the way they're constructed, they're not a World Series team. Is that unfair? Like, that's where I'm having my biggest...
Well, here's the thing, dude. There's still a lot of holes in the lineup, and that's what scares you.
But is that going to be an issue? My biggest issue right now isn't so much the holes. It's the holes that we have in the lineup, and we're sacrificing because of defense, but we're not getting the defense.
The catching you are.
Catchers we are. I honestly don't understand why Higashioka is still getting as much playing time as he is.
Because Trevino can't hit.
But we just talked about this.
Yeah, so they're going to platoon. I mean, they're both righties, but they're basically going to platoon them, give them 50-50, unless one guy gets hot.
So, obviously, I'm not talking about the catching position, though.
No, it's the fucking shortstop. Go ahead and say it.
Yeah, it is, and it's becoming a huge issue. I tweeted this the other day. Let's just assume I tweeted it.
Tweety.
Let's just assume, because it was an error, that IKF's throw was an error.
It was.
That would be 13 errors at the time. I don't know if they had any today. 13 errors, 6 of them were from IKF.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
And this guy was brought here to play defense.
Now, in the beginning, we could say, okay, look, it's a nerve-wracking thing. You come to New York, and, we talked about this how many times about Didi trying to fill the shoes of Derek Jeter. And even coming here after Didi. I mean, Didi, he did a great job when he settled in becoming the Yankee shortstop. We loved him. We accepted him. And IKF's filling this role. Not only does he have to be good, but he has to justify why he's here over all the other guys that were available. And so we gave him a little bit of a pass. But now,
he's regressed.
Now it's inexcusable. How much longer are we going to say, okay, he's getting settled in? Because it's gotten ridiculous.
I don't think he's settled. This might be who he is now.
It all depends on the defense. If he continues to do this, then that question's going to have to.
He can hit too. I mean, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Just then at that point, just find a defensive shortstop and completely
but he's supposed to be.
I know, but he does hit like 260 hit last year, so he does have some offense.
You know what the crazy part is?
Just forget it.
You know what the crazy part is, Ryan? You didn't have to trade for IKF because you could have just left friggin' Tyler Wade on this team.
Right. You're right. Yeah.
He's a much better defender.
You're not going to get an argument with me there.
I mean, if this is what your plan
much better looking.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
You had a faster left-handed version of IKF in Tyler Wade. That's why I never understood why the Yankees went down that road. You didn't have to you could just left Tyler Wade on here.
Yeah.
That's a great point, man. It's a great point. I think the Yankees see more in IKF, and I think that they're right to. I think he's definitely underperforming. But it's gotten to a point now where you no longer see that light at the end of the tunnel because, like I said, we gave him the pass in the beginning. And now it's just every single game. When you see an error on the board,
you know what it is, too?
The probability that it's IKF is very high.
I watch a guy play defense, and you can see if it's in his head or if it's who he is. I think it might be who he is. I hate the way he throws the ball.
I agree
hate
with you 100%.
I hate the way he throws the ball. Do you see that little wind up, like arm dip thing that he does? That's going to lead that has led to errors, and it's going to lead to more errors.
He's not primarily a shortstop, correct?
He won a Gold Glove at third base.
Okay, so there's our first fucking problem, right? Yeah. I think you're 100% right. He doesn't. Maybe in the beginning, I'd say he looked a little out of place, but he doesn't look timid when he's making these errors. It's not like he looks like he doesn't belong. You can tell when it's in his head. You can tell it easily. And I just don't see it with IKF.
If you're brought here to play defense, play defense. Especially when Garrett Cole's on the mound. Play defense.
Yeah, please. Stop running up the pitch count. You know, we could talk about all the earned runs and whatever because of errors when Cole's pitching. What about the extra 15 pitches in those innings that he has to throw? That he ends up giving up a home run.
Logically, you would think that you could put out your worst team when your best pitcher's on the mound because they will need less help. But that's kind of when you want to be at your best.
Sure.
Is when you got your guy on the mound. That's when you want to ensure every possible avenue is covered that you're going to win that game.
Well, and I'll say this too. You also, being a team where you don't have many guys that you trust going deep, when you
just tied it with 5 minutes left.
Come on, you asshole. I'm behind.
Why don't you fucking say that then?
I didn't know I was that far behind. You also, when you don't have many guys you trust going deep into ball games, you want to make sure your horse is out there. You want to make sure that can be as efficient as possible. And that if he's going to be inefficient, it's because of himself, not because of the players behind him.
Yeah, Garrett Cole's got to get through 7 in his next start. He's gotten into the seventh the last couple of times. He's got to get through it now.
But like, look at Cortez. I mean, that just, when you put into context what Cortez has done, and you look at what Cole's done, and I'm not saying Cole hasn't been great too over his last handful of starts, but when you put into context, going 8, is this 2 starts in a row? Because the no-hitter took into the 8th, right?
Into the 8th. Yeah, they pulled him before.
But would you take that every time?
Oh, yeah. Well,
I'd take the 7th.
0 to no runs going 7+. Yeah, I think he signed for it.
What a fucking goal, dude. Wow.
Okay, you like hockey?
I actually used to be very into hockey, and I'll admit I haven't watched the Rangers in a long time. And when I found out when I was following the game the other day on my phone that they came back and won and took it to Game 7, I was like, I have to watch this game.
Okay, you have to watch it. Okay.
Me and SGR used to be huge fucking Ranger fans.
Nobody cares about hockey, boomer. Okay.
They're gonna now.
No, I don't mind hockey. I just can't get into
Hockey's great.
it. Hockey's great.
No, I'll tell you why it's very difficult to get into any other sport but football when you're a diehard baseball fan. Because when you have a sport where you're watching Christian, let me ask you a question. When are the Yankees not playing? If there's ever a chance they're not playing, what days are they not playing?
Monday or Thursday.
Okay. In hockey, what days are the Rangers not playing?
I don't know. I think they play 3 times a week.
You have no idea. And that's the problem.
It's not a set.
That's the problem. When are the Giants playing? When are your football Giants playing?
Well, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Well, now I guess it's a little, but it's once a week, so it's set, it's marketed properly.
Right, it's their day.
I can't follow a sport that tight when I don't know exactly.
I just don't want to commit to a sport where I got to watch multiple games in a week after baseball season. That's why I always said, for me, football is the best second sport to be a fan of because it's a one-day commitment after 6 months of nonstop.
Yeah. I love when the Yankees have stretches like this, though, where they're not off. I really do.
You like it? Okay.
Yeah. I love it. Oh, boy.
So, we got to get back on what we were talking about with Aroldis Chapman before. Now, today it was interesting. We know he has not been overworked. Okay, we know that he has not been. Before Joey Gallo hits that home run in the 9th inning, it was a safe situation.
Yes,
and Clay Holmes was up in the bullpen. Clay
Yes.
Holmes was coming in to close this game out. Now,
Correct.
if anybody is kicking himself in the ass right now, it's Jonathan Loáisiga. Again, it was Thursday's game. He allows that big home run to tie the game at 7-7 before the Yankees busted the game open a little bit later on. He's not been the same pitcher. And until he gets close to what he was in 2021, for everybody like us that wants the Yankees to take the foot off the gas with Aroldis Chapman and back off using him in as many high leverage situations as they can't do that until Loáisiga has proven that he can take that role. And
I said it last week. Jonathan Loáisiga is losing sleep over this. The fact that this was handed to him on a fucking silver platter, man. The job was his. All he had to do was be decent. And he hasn't even been close to that. I thought he was getting back on track, to be honest. He looked really good his last outing, not his most recent one, but the one before that. He looked a lot better. He looked a lot sharper. And then he does what he did the other day. And you can't have it. You can't have it. Then, you can understand why the Yankees keep going to Chapman as your closer, because you really don't have anyone else right now that has that closer stuff. Like if it's going to be a toss-up, you might as well go with the guy you're paying to be your closer.
No, they do have a guy that has closer stuff, and he pitched the ninth inning today. His name is Clay Holmes.
You think that's it?
Have you watched the guy?
My thing is, okay, if Jonathan Loáisiga was 2021 Loáisiga, he would have the job. I don't see the Yankees giving Clay Holmes the job, is my point.
Well, he would have had the job today.
Yeah, I understand. And I'm saying maybe in certain scenarios, you're still going to Clay Holmes. Right. But I think that Aaron Boone, if you were to ask him, let's say Loáisiga was on fire and Chapman was pitching the way he is, I think he'd be quicker to say Loáisiga is my closer than he's going to be Clay Holmes as the closer over Chapman.
Listen, I think if the Yankees had their druthers and came into the season just saying to themselves, if Chapman can't do it, who's the guy we want to do it? It would have been Loáisiga. Of
course.
But it's not. Now Clay Holmes has jumped both of them. I think Clay Holmes is the best pitcher in that bullpen. For me, it goes Clay Holmes, Michael King. Clay 1-1.
Yeah, I think so.
1-1.
Well, King's obviously not going to be your closer because he's so valuable in the role.
No, and that's what somebody brought up to me yesterday. They said, "Well, why wouldn't you go with King?" And I said, "I don't touch King right now."
No.
Why wouldn't you go with
King?
King?
He's not a one-inning guy.
No, because
there's a one-inning guy.
King is way too valuable, being that bridge guy to come in, give you 5-6 into the 7,
so valuable,
and dominate for 6, 7, 8 outs. That's where I want Michael King right now.
It's phenomenal what he's done. This kid.
So for me, if you want to say who the best two pitchers in that bullpen are right now, for me, it's 1 and 1A is Michael King, Holmes 1 and King 1A. And then you could, you want to pick them out of a hat after that. I guess you could. I mean, Miguel Castro, has been phenomenal.
He's been very good.
We always give that, not Aaron Boone, Brian Cashman a lot of shit for the things that he does or doesn't do. But the things that he does well is finding these guys in the bullpen. He was the one that went out there and got Clay Holmes when everybody was freaking out because Hoyt Park had a 910 OPS down in Scranton. He's like, this guy's a nobody. Let me get a guy that could be my closer next year.
My thing with Holmes when he got him was that he had a 4.9 ERA at the time
because he wasn't unlocked.
Right. And that's fine, but that was my issue. It wasn't Hoyt Park.
They unlocked his slider too this year. I don't know if you guys saw that, but
the slider is great.
He lost 2 miles per hour on his slider, but he gained 6 inches of movement,
which is more important.
Yeah. So I mean,
who's the dude?
And he throws a 99-mile-an-hour sinker that nobody.
Who was the dude throwing 71 mile per hour changeup the other day? Was that the White Sox?
Yes,
it was Cease,
that
right?
was it. He was making them look silly on that. He threw back to back to somebody. I can't think of who it was.
Might have been Hicks.
But no, it wasn't Hicks. It was a better hitter than Hicks.
It was. Yeah.
He's another guy, man. I mean, how much longer are we going to deal with this?
Oh, he walks, bro. Don't you know that?
Yeah, that's all I hear. That's all.
In a run today.
You ever see the videos where all the mainstream media people are saying the same script over and over?
Yeah,
I think we could start doing that with the Yankee broadcasting and certain podcasts out there. You see this, you hear the same thing about the same players. Like Hicks,
Yes.
all I heard today was how much he walks and how great it is. Get him the fuck off this team.
I've
dude.
said this 1,001 times. He walks. Yes,
Great.
His
Oh, boy.
his on base has been sitting between 370 and 400 all year. Awesome. Name me one other thing he does well.
Zero things. There are zero things.
I'll name you all the things I find valuable in a position player. Does he get on base? Yes, Aaron Hicks gets on base. So let's start there. Let's say the good
Okay,
thing
yes.
Aaron Hicks
Checking the pros.
does he hit for average?
No.
Does he hit for power?
No.
When he gets on base, does he use his speed to steal
No.
bases? Does he play good defense?
Not really.
And what was the one other good thing that he does well? He has a great throwing arm. Does he have a great
Not
throwing arm
anymore.
anymore? So what does he do well besides walk?
Nothing.
He doesn't grind
So-
out into a lot of double plays.
Because he doesn't make contact.
Because he doesn't make contact.
That was the argument that Gary Sheffield Jr. was making.
And
why,
Can we look though? Other than the fucking paternity leave, does he not get the most playing time? He's in every lineup.
yeah, he is almost. And I told you the Yankees need to do, but they'll never do it.
What was Chef's point? I'm sorry.
Is that why Gallo's walks were unimportant to him? Because he doesn't do anything else. Now he's starting to hit. He's starting to hit more with more power. I think his OPS is over 1,000 in his last 12 games, which is good.
Well, you saw his swing starting to come around. Just like I saw Donaldson starting to come around too.
Yeah, he had a nice
Yeah.
year.
And now
Donaldson has got that on base. Did he get snapped today? Did he get on in his last at bat? I don't remember. But he had that 20 game on base streak. And you were saying to yourself, he's not on base because it's been a vitamin streak, one a day.
bro.
It seems
he
just like one a
had
day.
like a 15 game hitting
Vitamin.
streak, but they were all one a day.
And
let's see.
he's had a few in this
He
series.
did
alone.
walk
He's had-
today. He did walk today.
He did walk in his final at bat. I don't remember. Right in front of Gallo. Right, and Gallo hit the home run.
Yes.
I believe.
Yes.
He had a couple of not big in terms of the Yankees taking the lead or tying it, but big in that he had some home runs in this series that put the game away.
Were they Dig Bicks?
They weren't Dick Bicks, but they were big home runs. You want to talk about Dick Bicks, and we got to get to. We were not done with Chapman. We'll finish the show with the poll we ran on Chapman. Well, we got to get to what's his face, Giancarlo Stanton. Giancarlo Stanton, always the knock on Giancarlo Stanton. He hits some meaningless home runs.
Yeah.
When the Yankees are up 8, Giancarlo Stanton hits a home run. Giancarlo Stanton has hit. Was it 7 or is it 9 or 10 home
10,
runs?
I think it. Oh, he's definitely at 10 now.
Is that 10 now?
I believe so. Yeah.
Can we look that up? Can we get confirmation on that?
I got a game
Is it-
I'm watching.
I'll-
I'm pretty sure it's 10, dude.
Is it up to
He
10?
was at 9, and then he hit the other home run.
What the fuck this is?
And while you're looking that up, let me just say about Donaldson putting games away.
He's at 10.
You know Donaldson's putting games away with his home runs when both home runs, literally, I've never seen anything like it. The second the ball clears the wall, the entire stadium starts clearing out.
Dips, yeah. They did
Was
that
it
today when
wild seeing that?
They did it today when Gallo's
Yeah.
home runs.
It was
went out.
wild.
So
Overtime.
What a game.
overtime in a game 7. Wow. All right.
What a game.
All right. So meaningless home runs. He's not clutch. Well, if 80% of your home runs give the team the lead or tie the game, I'd say that's pretty clutch.
Bro,
Mhm.
I saw someone on Twitter the other day actually still say the Yankees need to trade him to get rid of his contract.
Did you see what Brian Kenny said on fucking MLB Network about this guy the day
I don't
after
even
he
wanna
has a
know.
After a 2 home run, 6 RPI performance, the guy takes time out of his show to have a segment. Is Giancarlo Stanton good?
Yeah. Is he good? Let me tell you something, dude. I have never in my life, and I mean this, and I'm 33 years old, and I've been watching baseball where I can remember since, my first true vivid baseball memory is when did Mickey Mantle die? 92,
5.
95? So 95, then I could say, because I vividly remember watching the Yankees lose and Griffey rounding
I don't know if that
third.
has to do with Mickey Mantle, but okay.
No, because Mickey Mantle was my first vivid memory when they announced he was.
Yeah, I was
his
at.
death.
I was at Yankee Stadium that
So
day.
that
man.
was 95.
That was cray. As the
And
kid,
then
the kids still does say that. Does say cray still?
They say cray cray. I say cray.
Okay.
And so that was my first memory. But then to follow up, my first like vivid memory of a full series was in the playoffs. So I've watched a lot of baseball. I've watched a lot of great players. I have never.
I've been a season ticket holder since 1945.
I have never seen a hitter as dangerous as Giancarlo Stanton when he is on in my entire life. It's almost like a video game. Do you second that? When he is on, he is the most dangerous hitters you'll ever fucking see.
Yeah, no,
he's too easy for him when he's on.
It is. It's like it's too easy. It's like you use the cheat code.
So Brian Kenny, and dickhead Ron Darling, they were talking about it, and Kenny's like, yeah, well, when he's hot, he can hit home runs, but what does he do? What does he do when he's not hot? What do other guys do when they're not
Yeah,
hot?
well, come on.
And then
what does Alonso do when he's not hot?
And then he's like, Stanton's a lot of feast of famine. I just don't, and it's a lot more famine against good players. What's he going to do in the postseason? How about a 1.10 career postseason OPS? 1.10 career postseason OPS, but he doesn't hit in the postseason, right?
Dude, he's been their number one player in the postseason.
He's been their only.
Look, I get it. 2018 was terrible. I'll never get that image of him against Craig Kimbrell in Game 4 out of my head. One of the worst at bats I've ever seen in a spot like that.
Didn't he hit a home run when the game was like 18-0 though?
Did he? I don't know.
Yeah, he did.
But to tell me this guy doesn't show up in the big spot is just fucking false. And when I saw the video, I tweeted, I go, did Giancarlo Stanton fuck Brian Kenny's wife?
Probably.
Because that's the only reason. Because that's the only
Mm.
reason how you could make a statement. You could spend 10 minutes on fucking television downgrading this guy after a 2 home run, 6 RBI game is because you got some type of personal vendetta against the guy. Former MVP. I just told you what the guy does in the postseason. 8 out of his 10 home runs this year alone have tied or given the Yankees the lead, but he sucks.
Racist. Racism.
Is that what it is?
Dr. Gomes, out yourself.
God, that's loud tonight.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry.
Jesus.
Well, we're in the orange, so he's got to be a little bit more vocal
ouchie.
about it. Okay.
Sorry.
Were you making a point about something?
I was just making the point that Stanton is just, you want to ask yourself if he's good. He's not only good, he's the most dangerous fucking player in all of baseball when he's on, man.
He took that short porch with him to Chicago too. He was hitting some scrapers over the right field wall.
I'll take it, bro.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
What was I going to say? It was Friday's whatever game that Judge and Stan both homered in. It had to be Thursday's game. I think that was the last time they both homered in the same game. No wonder why the Yankees have been so hot, because in the 15 games coming into that game, they combined to drive in 44 runs, the two of them.
Wild.
And that is what you're saying is like, why don't you want to let yourself go and be fully immersed in this? Because we've been saying once you get past 1 through 4, there's a lot of holes in this lineup. But now if Donaldson's going to contribute to that and Glaber's going to chip in when he chips in like he's been, now you're a little bit deeper. So now you might only have to worry about Hicks, IKF, and the catcher. And then that's a completely different lineup than just be. And as much as we love Rizzo, the guy's been dreadful lately. We have to be fair about it. But still, you still got to put him in third. You can't be fucking
he's
around
still
with
Anthony
that.
Rizzo, and he's still going to get a hold of one.
He would have had a couple if they were playing at Yankee Stadium, which it doesn't.
Donaldson. Sorry, Christian, I'll cut you off there.
No, go ahead.
Donaldson's last 15 games, 375 on base, 273 batting average, 9 ribbies, 2 dingies.
That's much better.
He's been playing better.
That's much better. And I'll say this too. We didn't really touch on this. Judge hits the walk-off, and I said this last week, that Judge coming through in big spots is huge for this offense because he seems to be
Is it
getting
huge
up.
or huge?
It's huge.
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 Tremendous.
when that ball clears the wall for the walk-off, for his first career walk-off home run,
Yeah.
were you just thinking in your head, if you're Brian Cashman, you have a blank fucking check waiting for him and his locker, because it is becoming so much more difficult with each game to grasp, to comprehend the idea that this guy most likely will not be in pinstripes in 2023.
Yeah, it's well, that's up to his
It's
boss.
an egregious thought.
It's up
It
to his
cannot
boss.
happen. It cannot. I can't stress this enough. It can't happen. It cannot. You cannot let that man put on a different uniform for the rest of his existence.
Well, the Yankees are going to meet with Aaron Judge on the 22nd of June. It's the last arbitration case that'll be heard is Aaron Judge and the Yankees. I mean, I said it before. I'll say it one more time. If the Yankees were smarter Yankees, you don't go to arbitration. You call him a day, 2 days before. You sit down and say, "Listen, we know you don't want to do this, but we're gonna sit down and hammer something out anyway. Here's our new offer, and it better be a lot fucking better than the one that you offered him on opening day." And then if he says no to it
Even though
again,
it was still a great offer.
yeah, we talked about this. And again, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole again. We talked about this. What's fair is fair. The offer was fair. But when you take into account everything that the Yankees did for Aaron Judge and who Aaron Judge is when he's healthy and on the field, which he's been now for how many years, fair, you have to do better than fair.
Yeah. You have to exceed any expectation.
And people, 10 for 360 is crazy. Is he?
They've dropped.
That's what
Look, they've dropped his pants for how many years now? It's time to get to work. It's time to put your mouth where your money is.
Okay, relax yourself, okay?
Wait.
It's time to go to work. It's time to get dirty.
Did you mean to say that?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. See, this is just
Okay.
when we let Chris talk too much, this is what happens, okay?
All right.
I'm gonna have to, just like I've been accused of limiting the words that I let SGR say. Okay, I gotta limit the.
Okay, let's go Rangers. Okay, LGR. Okay.
I gotta limit the amount of words that you can say too, because if you get past your 117th word, then it's just nonsense. Okay.
Can we do the next bet is gonna be Chris, we'll get you like a shock collar or something.
That would actually be phenomenal. Can
Well,
you
you
do
guys-
those remote?
Oh, that's good.
A Bluetooth one.
Okay, deal.
Well, the next one,
That's funny.
maybe SGR will spend some time with you, like 4th of July weekend.
Nah,
Okay.
no thanks.
Oh, you're not going to do that.
Yeah, probably. Actually, that's not a bad idea.
And then you guys can record together in the same room,
Okay.
and then
right.
Ryan can control the fucking shot collars, and so be right next
All
to
right.
you.
That'd be
Yeah, that's
great.
funny.
Because you guys have a rematch coming up on the game.
We do,
It's supposed to be for All-Star Weekend.
because it was bullshit.
yeah,
We'll do
fucking,
it. We could do it Memorial Day, since there's no game.
You lost
I
every
didn't lose.
game that we've ever played on this show. You've lost.
Yeah, Offers.
He's an offer.
He's an offer.
He walks though, so he's good.
Christopher.
He
Christopher.
gets on base.
He gets on base, so he's all right. All right, let's wrap up the show.
Let's wrap it
here.
up.
Okay. Wish your mother had done that. Not your mom, Brian. Just Chris's mom.
Okay, thanks for
All right.
coming.
You wrap it up so I can wrap it up.
All right. So we've been on and off Aroldis Chapman all game, and I think we got.
Sucks.
Yeah, we know he sucks. Dude.
All game or all show?
all show. Okay.
All show.
So we had a poll. Okay, we had a poll.
Okay, scientific.
That-
Okay.
Almost.
Okay, Dr. Pouch. Okay, almost. Okay.
And it was, do you want the Yankees to keep Aroldis Chapman as a team closer? And 72% of people voted no, they don't want to keep him as the closer. Now, I went back and looked just to compare to our keep him dumping polls in the offseason, where Aroldis Chapman was a 50.4% keep.
Wow.
on a very scientific poll. We had 1,400 votes on that poll.
Wow.
I think that was our most voted on poll too. Was Aroldis Chapman.
Wow.
So you could see the pendulum has swung, and yes,
And it's not coming back.
You know you're going to skew it when you post it after he blows a game, but still, I think that if you posted it today after the Yankees win and he hasn't pitched, I still think it would probably
Still the same.
It would probably still be. I'm surprised. Honest to God, I'm surprised. What did we say? It was 72%. I'm surprised it was
It's
that
not
low.
more.
Yeah, I'm really surprised because if you think about it, a lot of people don't watch the games as much as we do, and that's fine. You understand people are busy; they don't want to be committed to what do you call it, to the team as much as we are. It is what it is, right? But that's when it bothers me that you don't do that, because you can't honestly sit there and tell me that the guy should still be the closer if you don't watch a pitch. It doesn't matter what the result. We always say it doesn't matter what the result is. The guy, you cannot trust this guy. How many more just rip your balls off, fucking devastating kick to the fucking gut home runs does this guy have to give up before you're just over it? I mean, I am now.
I'll tell you one thing I
Rocky
can't.
Devers, Jose Altuve. I mean, go down the fucking list of these guys that he's just broken your heart with home runs against.
I'll tell you one thing I can't accept.
And I'm sorry, Chris. That's when he finds the plate. Now, when are the games when he can't find the plate?
It's almost worse when he can't.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's one thing I can't accept, and it's Aroldis Chapman ending the Yankees season this year. It cannot happen.
Mm-hmm.
The Yankees have done a really good job, and I got to give credit where it's due, where we went into the season very pessimistic because of the fact that they just gave the same old bullshit over and over in the offseason. But where they have changed has been internal philosophy mid-season. They're more aggressive on the base pass. They're having a much better approach at the plate, and they're finding ways to score runs even when the home run isn't there. And I'll give them credit where it's due. The one thing that needs to also happen above and beyond, and again, I'll give a little more credit even to Boone with having a quicker leash.
Happen?
Having a shorter leash with some of these guys and pulling them when normally he wouldn't. What can happen is the Yankee season cannot come to an end because of Aroldis Chapman.
Game 5 ALDS, Aroldis Chapman can give up a home run that ends the season.
No, it cannot happen.
That can't happen. That can't be his fucking parting gift to this fan base.
No, it just can't. And as long as that does not happen, I don't care what they do with him right now as long as they're winning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Boone had said today that he's not set on a closer. I mean, but it's pretty obvious that they kind of are. It's going to be Chapman, and it sucks. I mean, Chapman's closer based on his contract and nothing else.
Right.
Because
it's by default.
If everybody's paid equally, or you just take money out of the equation, the guy's not closing games.
No.
So let's read a few comments here. Okay.
All right, and then I have a quick game for us.
Okay, always got a game.
Okay.
I think he should still be the closer.
You do.
You guys want to know?
Yeah, no, I do want to know. I want to know why you say that.
Why do you think? What's the only real reason?
You're afraid he might come over to your house and choke you and shoot a gun.
That's the other reason.
Because there's no one else who has earned the role.
He sucks.
The
only reason is because of how much money he makes, and because he's the main piece. If they do want to move a contract, I want him as the closer to show that he can still do it.
Yeah,
I am moving him at the deadline.
That's fair.
So if you're not going to have him as the closer anymore, then you're limiting his value in a way, because you're not giving him the opportunity to show that he can still close. So I'm leaving him as the closer and hoping he goes on a little run, and then I'm trying to get rid of him to the Padres. Bye.
Okay, so he can go with Robinson Cano. Okay,
yeah.
And Luke White. Okay.
All right.
All right. So
that's the reason why.
Okay, you got Joe, our buddy, Time-is-Vilmatic. Okay, he says Chapman hasn't been effective since 2019 when Jose Altuve broke him during the ALCS. Tonight, meaning Saturday, is just another addition to a long list of reasons why paying him $18 million was a mistake. Okay.
Okay.
I don't want to butcher this guy's name.
Butcher,
okay, so,
dude. Butcher.
Dayal Skaved.
So butchered.
I like Boone's approach of rotation, closer by rotation. He really hasn't done that though. Okay, Dayal. Okay, he hasn't really done that. Okay. Jay Morris says only if Mo teaches him his cutter, then he can close for the Yankees. Okay. Okay, Lino Jr. Okay, he says for this season, yes, but do not bring him back. Okay, thank you for that, Lino.
Okay.
Joey Kobani. Okay. Says he can't be trusted anymore. Clay Holmes or Wandy should be the new options, and I read that specifically because doesn't Wandy Peralta almost seem like a forgotten guy in his bullpen?
It's almost like they don't want him to be good.
They have not. We've noticed. Me personally, I've noticed several times when just like the Yankees have not gone to Wandy Peralta in situations that you thought they would go to him in, or he just hasn't pitched enough.
It's funny when they brought him in the other day. I was like, oh, I guess he's not hurt. I was really thinking maybe he was injured because of how little they're even considering him.
Yeah, I mean, the guy they used him like he had a rubber arm last year. They were almost trying to proctor him, but I mean, this year they're backing off of him a little bit.
Sounds like an anal surgery procedure. Proctor.
Go to NYYNewsTV.com, by the way, and click the shop tab and get your big Nestor Energy shirt. Okay, do that. Okay,
The show.
Okay.
You want to play my game real quick?
Sure.
Right.
I just
fuck, marry, kill.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be keep, DFA, or kill.
Kill.
Chapman, Hicks, IKF.
Okay, so IKF is the whitest of the three guys, even though he's Hawaiian, right? Okay, so I guess I have to choose kill him because if I say anything else, I'm going to be considered racist.
Yeah. I think you're going to keep
it there.
Come on, honestly. Keep, DFA. So it's not a trade. You're not getting anything back. Or
Keep
kill.
IKF because he doesn't cost anything.
I mean, if I'm going to kill somebody, it wouldn't have to be Chapman. He's honestly the only guy that's a bad. Like you would say, he's a bad guy. Like
I'm killing Hicks, dude.
What is Hicks? I mean, what is Hicks ever tried?
I hate his guts.
Yeah, but has he ever tried to kill anybody? Like legitimately?
Right, and he just had a kid. I'll kill Chapman. I'm definitely keeping IKF, and I'm DFAing Hicks.
Hicks, yeah.
Okay. Deal.
Oh man, is that going to be a?
Oh wow!
All right, so Chris,
do they do that still? Penalty shots?
Right now, Rangers on a power play
because he was. What? When you're on a breakaway and you get slashed like that, though, I think.
Oh, it could be, yeah.
But it's power play.
All right, so the Yankees just took 3 out of 4 from the White Sox. Okay, they did. Okay, and I know that Sweeney Murray likes to tweet that the Yankees pitching is so good because they're playing the bottom. They're playing in the bottom 20 of run scoring teams this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, good point, Sweeney. You dick. I mean, sorry, dick. Did you ever think that the Toronto Blue Jays runs per game might be down because they're facing the Yankees? They faced them 9 times already this year. Did you ever think of that? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
The Yankees are going to go to Baltimore here.
And then they play the same 2 fucking teams at home.
I know.
The Yankees are going to go to Baltimore for 4 7:05, 7:05, 7:05, and then Thursday's 12:35. Okay, and then they'll be home for the White Sox. If the Yankees sweep, which I mean, it's going to be tough. It's tough to sweep 4-game series, but if the Yankees sweep, it is okay. Because if it wasn't, they would have swept this series. Okay, if they sweep this series against the Orioles, they will return home on Friday on May 20th. 20 games. Over 500.
It's wild.
Just the fact that that's a possibility it's insane to even think about.
It almost makes you uncomfortable because
you're waiting for it.
Because you're talking about these bars, these milestones being reached so early, and you said it yourself last week. When you hit these milestones, these benchmarks, you can't regress.
Can't go back.
There's a lot of pressure, and they did a great job. Coming out of the 10 games over and really continuing to move forward. They're 16 games over now.
Right.
So now we're not even thinking about the 10 games anymore.
No, they got past 15 now. So now you can't go past 15. You can't go under 15
look,
now.
but here's my thing. I get you, but the 10 markers are the biggest. So you get to 20, man.
I always look at every 5. Every 5 over is another step.
You set
that
a high
can't go
bar,
past.
bro. You set a
I
high
can't.
bar.
No, once you get past every 5, man, you can't go past it. Then.
But here's the good news. This team is not showing any signs that would make us doubt them. They're just not. We know we started doubting the offense, and what do? They come out this series and put their fucking dicks on the fucking plate. Every single one of them.
For the first 2 games, at least.
That's fine. That's fine. They got the job done.
No, okay, they did.
Hey, they scored 5 runs today, and you got a lot of production from guys that weren't producing.
Joey Gallo, okay.
Joey Gallo, Donaldson.
Don't forget
IKF had some hits.
Okay. The Yankees had 2 hits today, Gallo and IKF. That was it.
Fine with me.
Okay, Hicks walked. Let's not forget that. Okay, Hicks walked.
He did walk.
It was important. His WRC plus is way above league average, so he's elite. Okay. Don't forget it. Okay, you're racist if you think he sucks. Complete racism. If you don't acknowledge the WRC plus. Okay.
You're racist. Okay.
So the Yankees are playing Sunday Night Baseball, and Chris is converting to a Red Sox fan next weekend anyway. So we'll be back. I think you'll probably hear the show Tuesday. We'll record.
Nice deal.
We'll have to figure out what we're going to do with recording, but we'll probably record Monday during the game and just put it in the can and release it Tuesday morning. That'll probably be our next. That'll be our next episode. So thank you very much for listening to episode 282. Follow us on Twitter at NYYST_podcast. Again, always thank you very much for your continued support of the show overall. We love you guys, even if you think that we're racist. Okay.
Doesn't matter to us.
Doesn't matter to us. I mean, I know what I know what I am and what I'm not. So, I mean, you want to throw it around, but continue to listen to the show. Go right the fuck ahead.
Okay. Rangers. Okay. All right.
Okay. Ready, Chris? Are you ready?
I'm ready,
no.
bro. I'm ready.
Did you see it or not?
I didn't see it.
Oh.
I got the one timer. What?
Okay.
The one timer. Come on, before we sign off.
Before we sign off, come on.
Dude, I'm so delayed.
How, dude? Come on, bro.
That's
delayed.
crazy. Why are you this delayed?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh man.
Is it over? All right. Yes, it'd be a happy Monday morning for all the Ranger fans out there. All right, enough.
Wow.
Let's say goodbye.
Damn.
It'd be a very happy Monday morning for Ranger fans. The Rangers just won in overtime 4-3, come back from a 3-1 deficit.
Wow.
So let's go, man. Let's get a little playoff mojo going.
Let's do it. New York's back, man.
Wow.
Let's go. And hopefully the Rangers have a nice run, and so do the Yankees. So thank you very much for listening to the show. SGR.
Go Yanks.
Chris, say goodbye.
Before it hits the